this is an iHeart podcast.
Good morning. Welcome to Today.
From back to school to tackling your to-do list, the Today Show is your best start to the day.
It's a new season, and every morning we're here to help you take it all on as the forecast calls for football all across the country.
Blockbuster stars, live concerts, and so much more. Wake up to where it's all happening.
We're getting back to all of it, and the best way to start is together.
Watch the Today Show, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. on NBC.
This is History's Heroes. People with purpose, brave ideas, and the courage to stand alone, including a pioneering surgeon who rebuilt the shattered faces of soldiers in the First World War.
You know, he would look at these men and he would say, "Don't worry, Sonny, you'll have as good a face as any of us when I'm done with you."
Join me, Alex von Tunzelmann, for History's Heroes. Subscribe to History's Heroes wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello, from Wonder Media Network, I'm Jenny Kaplan, and this is Womanica. This August, we're bringing back some of our favorite Womanica episodes you might have missed. All month, we'll be talking about pink-collar workers. These women revolutionized jobs that have traditionally been called women's work. Through their lives, they created a more just and humane world for us today. With that, here's one of our favorite episodes.
Hi, I'm Kia Damone. I'm a Florida-born chef, writer, host, and recipe developer. I served as an executive chef of a New York City restaurant at the age of 24 and became Cherry Bombe Magazine's first culinary director at 25. I've been named one of 16 chefs changing Black food in America by the New York Times and Forbes 30 Under 30 in food and beverage. In 2021, I founded Kia Feeds the People, a budding mutual aid effort focusing on food apartheid in Brooklyn. I'll be your guest host for this month of Womanica. This month, we're talking about tastemakers. We're celebrating the Black chefs, cooks, and food historians who created new foodways and preserved important culinary stories of the past. Today, we're talking about a woman who embodies the promise of the American dream. She became one of Harlem's most successful food vendors by selling pig's feet. Let's talk about Lillian Harris Dean. Lillian Harris was born in the Mississippi Delta sometime between 1870 and 1873. We don't know much about her early life, but we do know 3 things. She loved pig's feet, she was the oldest of a handful of siblings, and her dream was to have enough money to buy a place to live when she got old. When she was still just a kid, Lillian decided that the Mississippi Delta was not where she would turn her dream into reality. So she left and drifted between the northern cities for about 15 years. In 1901, Lillian landed in New York City. She took a job as a maid, but it didn't last for long. After all, it was just a means to an end. At this time, many African Americans made their living as street food vendors. It didn't take long for Lillian to join the movement. In 1 week as a maid, she made $5. She used each dollar strategically, a few dollars for a used baby carriage, a little bit for a large tin pot, and the rest for pig's feet. With these items, Lillian began her journey to financial prosperity. She cooked the pig's feet in a pot over a charcoal stove, put the pot in the baby carriage, and hit the streets. Every day, Lillian would park herself on a corner near Columbus Circle and sell pig's feet from sunrise to sunset, almost like the original food truck. The pig's feet were an instant success. Black Southerners who had migrated north longed for this culinary staple from their roots. But the pig's feet were not exactly a delicacy. They didn't have a ton of meat, nor were they particularly juicy. But they reminded African Americans of home and a place that felt so foreign. Lillian's success came with financial gains and a new name, Pigfoot Mary. After a couple of years, Pigfoot Mary upgraded from a baby carriage to a portable stove and relocated to Amsterdam Avenue between 61st and 62nd Street. Here, business boomed. People would line the block. She sold more than 100 pig's feet a day during the week and more than 300 on Saturdays. But Pigfoot Mary didn't go on a spending spree with this influx of cash. She lived modestly and saved all the money she made. Eventually, Pigfoot Mary married newspaper stand owner John Dean. The story is that John proposed after trying one of her pig's feet. They ended up selling their wares side by side. Pigfoot Mary added hog maws, chitlins, and corn on the cob to the menu. These smells and tastes of home gave her customers a sense of belonging. It grounded them in a new place and connected them to the culture they left behind. She also made a name for herself among the artists, writers, and entrepreneurs that flocked to the cultural hub of the Harlem Renaissance. And once again, she was frugal with the money she made. Eventually, that frugality paid off. With her husband's encouragement, Pigfoot Mary entered the real estate business. She was able to purchase a 5-story apartment building in Harlem for about $42,000. She rented to anyone who needed a place to stay. 6 years later, she sold it for $72,000. But that wasn't her only property. As she made more money, she bought more buildings. Pigfoot Mary couldn't read or write, but she knew how to cook, and she was financially savvy. Today, some of the buildings she once owned look a little different. They now house the Harlem Hospital, a Salvation Army location, and St. Mark the Evangelist Church. In 1923, Pigfoot Mary took some time to travel around the West Coast. Shortly after, she retired there. Pigfoot Mary died on July 16, 1929 in Los Angeles. Her net worth of $375,000 would have been more than $6 million today.
Thanks for listening to this best of episode of Womanica. For more information, find us on Facebook and Instagram at Womanica Podcast. Special thanks to Liz Kaplan, my favorite sister and co-creator. Join us tomorrow for another one of our favorite episodes honoring pink-collar workers. Talk to you then.
This is History's Heroes. People with purpose, brave ideas, and the courage to stand alone, including a pioneering surgeon who rebuilt the shattered faces of soldiers in the First World War.
You know, he would look at these men and he would say, "Don't worry, Sonny, you'll have as good a face as any of us when I'm done with you."
Join me, Alex von Tunzelmann, for History's Heroes. Subscribe to History's Heroes wherever you get your podcasts.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
This is an iHeart podcast.